Hang on, people. That's pretty good. More cops earning the hate. This is why law enforcement today is hated. This is why people come here and, Rick, you retired cop, you were a cop, you should be talking about the blue line, they're all heroes. This shit is just totally uncalled for. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. People, attorneys, judges need to get together and put a stop on police K-9 use because they are abusing the crap out of this. Absolutely outrageous footage. Here we go.
For what? This is harassment. We ain't do nothing.
Okay, so let me give you some background. I forgot. You hear the helicopter in the air and you see cops, and you see a lot of cops. So that tells me, one, the cops are bored. There's not much else going on. I don't know when the date this happened. Let's see if I can find the date. Okay, it appears this happened April 4th. So this is in the middle of coronavirus when everybody is worried about masks and we have to distance and everything. So notice how nobody cares about the coronavirus when they get a chance to let their dog chew on somebody and taser people. So because I hear a helicopter and because of the number of cops, I believe that the call was probably legit. Not saying that it was true, that the cops were responding to a legitimate call that somebody claimed that a guy pulled a gun on another woman and was threatening him and there was a fight. So anytime you hear there's a gun, all the cops get excited. They drop their donuts and it's like, yeehaw, I might get to go kill somebody and then I get a week off, pay vacation. You know. So nowadays, cops, I mean, that's just the way they operate. They don't care about protecting. They don't care about you. They care about getting their check and getting to shoot people and use their little bat toys. Rick, you can't say that. Cops are heroes. Whatever.
Look, you see, I got a chopper over here. I am. Hey, I'm gonna kill Nate. No!
Okay, so let's look at this objectively because it has to be reasonable. Looks like there's an arm around here. This is the mom. This is her son. Son has his arms up. Mom is holding him, saying, don't hurt him because I know how you police like to beat the shit out of people. Now, how does that stereotype happen? How does this bald guy end up being in front, the bald cop being in front? How do stereotypes become stereotypes? Normally because they're true. This woman knows that cops beat people for no reason. The guy has his hands up, and she protects him. Okay? So, I want all you cop lovers that come here and tell me I'm always picking on the poor cops. I want you to show me how these guys are fearful. Notice their guns are out and they're hiding behind cover and they're really nervous and scared. Notice the behavior, because I know I'm going to get the cop lovers here. Rick, you're just picking on the cops. Okay, whatever. Shit, wrong damn button. Sorry. Okay, mom's like, look, don't hurt my kid. He's got his hands up. There's no reason. They know, she knows they're itching to use this dog. This guy is what you call compliant. He has his hands up, people. He doesn't have a place to conceal. Rick, he could have a gun in his ass. Well, he could, if and buts and coconuts. He could have a bazooka in there and he could be parking a car in his ass too. But it's not probably likely. But anyway, his hands are up. Yes, it's a gun call. Yes, they probably know him. Yes, he's got a criminal history. Yes, he's on parole, so he's been to prison. He's out of parole, and they know him. I get it. I've dealt with plenty of parolees and people with violence, and you got to be careful with them because they know the system, and they will set you up, and you got to be extra careful. But you don't need to release a damn dog and tase everybody. You got enough cops there. You could have easily walked up. Somebody could have put this guy in a wrist arm bar, taken him to the ground, a controlled takedown, and handcuffed him. There's no reason to tase and have this dog chew this guy's leg up. Rick, you just don't like cops and you like criminals. All right, whatever, you freaking idiots. So now he gets tasered. His hands are up and you hear the taser going off and he falls. So he's falling because the taser worked. Okay? I know all the cops will be out here. Well, Rick, he could have been faking it. He could have jumped up and sprung wings and then put out his cape and killed us all, and we were in fear of our life. Yeah, that's because you're a freaking pussy. Okay, so now we have two cops going after the woman, not the bad guy that's supposedly the threat. Not the guy with his hands up, not the guy they're going to arrest. You got two people pulling her out of the way so he can release his dog. Absolutely outrageous, planned, premeditated assault with a deadly weapon. Freaking cops are out there shooting chihuahuas because they bark at you because they're saying they're in fear of their life. Yet when government shows up with guns and vests and helicopters and multiple officers and a guy has his hands up, somehow there's going to be a cop lover saying cops are all heroes and they risk their life and it's the bad guy's fault. Unfreaking believable. So they yank him away so he can run his dog in and literally lead him to this guy's leg, who is on the ground after he's been tased. Is this guy fighting? Has he hit a cop? Has he used any violence to a cop in this video? But Rick, he could have done it before, and he was a black belt, and you don't know, and he was dangerous, and they were in fear of their life. Yeah, that's because you're a freaking pussy and an idiot. Guy's got his hands behind his back, people. Absolutely unjustified. This cop needs to lose his job and go to prison. He needs to lose his dog. Law enforcement needs to lose his dog. Every one of these cops, see the fear in these cops? Look at them with their guns out and they're nervous. Look at them watching like they're watching an event, a training event. Just standing there, no threat, no worries, no fear whatsoever. Letting this dog chew on a guy who's got his hands behind his back and was just tased while his hands were up in the air. Man, it just freaking, I'm so tired of these videos and people are like, Rick, you're just picking on the cops. And I am sick and tired of police abuse, unaccountability, limited immunity, non-accountability, and victims just being nothing but a freaking play toy and practice toy for all the government's new little tricks and gadgets. Absolutely outrageous. So the guy's got his hands behind his back. Notice everybody has their gun out. Rick, they were in fear of their life. Yeah, they have their gun out because they're so scared. Notice everybody's scared. Guy's hands never left his back. Never. Dog is chewing on him. Handler has no control of his dog. He is doing more damage. And look, people, I know you tell him, Rick, you ain't never been bit yet. I was a dog handler for freaking 20 years. I know freaking dog. I've forgotten more about dogs than most of these idiots who have dogs now have. I've had a dog on my leg just like this in the middle of a demonstration for kids, and the handler kicked my leg, which he shouldn't have, and his dog jumped down and grabbed my leg exactly on my calf. I got the holes, just the scars to show you, and he grabbed me just like this. And this guy's doing the right thing on the ground. He's not moving. And my handler reached down and grabbed and yanked the dog once, and I yelled at him and said, God damn it, Spanos, I remember his name, don't freaking yank the dog. Reach down and choke him out and make him open his jaws. If you squeeze a dog's windpipe, he opens his mouth to try and get air. That is the proper way to get a dog off of a bite and off of a training wrap or training decoy. And this handler is intentionally, wrongly, maliciously yanking and pulling his dog, causing much more damage and pain. This is just outrageous to me. I'd like to punch this little punk in the face. So now, all these officers are fearful. Notice they're fearful. They're pointing at the person with the camera. They're pointing at the one other person coming here saying, why are you letting this dog chew on this person? This is wrong. So they're more concerned about the people trying to interfere with their dog bite than they are about protecting anybody. This officer moves in, no gun in his hands, gets his handcuffs out, and handcuffs the guy while he's on the ground. Notice the resistive. Notice the fear in the officers. Notice how the guy is trying to punch and stab their gun and reach for a weapon. Notice the great resistiveness of when I read you the article that the media put out, the cops gave a statement that the guy was resisting being arrested and they had to use the dog. That's the police statement. Just a flat out lie. Absolutely outrageous. So, We have this cop, this cop, this cop. They're handcuffing the guy. Still ain't got the dog off. Guy hasn't resisted one freaking time. So now he's handcuffed and the guy's yanking on him. So this guy's yanking on his arms, tweaking his shoulders, while the dog is chewing on his leg. And because this guy's yelling in pain, they're saying he's resisting arrest. Every one of these cops ought to be in freaking jail. This is just freaking out. And they do this with impunity. They do this with pride and honor and thin blue line. And we have to protect ourselves and we're important. And you pesky taxpayers don't have any rights. We don't care about your damn rights and your constitutional crap. We can do what the hell we want. We've been doing what we want. And you idiots keep filming us. And so big freaking deal. So now the guy's handcuffed, and this guy is pulling and ripping and doing more damage. All he has to do is put his hand on his throat and squeeze this dog's windpipe, and the dog will give a gag and choke response. He will open his mouth, his teeth will release, and he can move the dog away. And when the dog was on my leg and I told the handler to choke it, he choked him, the dog released, and he moved him away. And I was in the middle of a bunch of kids watching me, and I looked up at him and go, sorry, we're going to end the demonstration here. Y'all have a nice day. And I had to go to the hospital. But anyway, look, this is just absolutely ridiculous, people. Oh, did we see another dog in the background here? Did y'all see that? Let's go back here. Because one dog ain't enough. We need another dog. I thought I saw another dog in the background there. Let's make sure here. Maybe we want to choose somebody else. Oh, yeah, there's another dog. Look, there's another little happy attack dog. Because we're so scared. I wonder if he bit somebody. He's holding his dog out of control, too. These freaking cops don't know what the hell they're... Man, look at all this government protecting and serving the shit out of you. Look at this. Don't you feel safe, people? These people are here to help. They're from the government. This is when you pay your taxes. You pay these people to come here and abuse you. I mean, it's just freaking crazy. Absolutely outrageous. Oh, wait a minute. I got another bat toy. Hang on. I get to tase someone else. Hell, I ain't doing nothing else. This guy's having all the fun. He gets to get this guy and shoot up. All I get to use my handcuffs. I want to use more of my bat shit. Let me pull out my taser so I can maybe tase someone else. Absolutely ridiculous. Outrageous. Everybody know how long this freaking dog's on here. It's freaking crazy. He's been handcuffed now for I don't know how long. Absolutely. So, he's screaming and yelling because he can't get his dog off. This guy's watching. What's this guy with the taser out? What's his response? I'm going to step on his ankle and twist and lock his ankle to one side so he can't move and create more pain and injury because he's screaming because the dog won't let loose. Watch his foot step on this guy's ankle. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Hang on. Oh, yeah, let me and that's called an ankle lock. If you lock an ankle like that, he can roll this way, but he can't roll the other way. He can't roll this way because the dog's pulling on him. But he's still got time to point his taser, stop on his leg, bite. This guy's got to watch. We got another dog. We got a helicopter in the air. We got a woman over here. Another cop fighting with the woman. And the guy's handcuffed. And he had his hands up. And we spent how much money with all this protecting and serving the shit out of you to come to your response, to come and save you, to keep you safe. In the article, it said CHP was on the scene blocking the streets to keep the neighborhood safe. Out freaking rages.
Stay back! Stay back! Stay, keep face down!
Now he's going to threaten him with this. Stay still. Really? He's handcuffed, you're standing on his leg, and a dog's on his thing. And this guy's going to tase him again. Well, he threatens him. He doesn't tase him. I mean, it's just freaking outrageous, people. And people look at this and they blame me. They're like, Rick, why are you picking on the cop? These cops have a hard job. They don't get paid a lot. They don't get a retirement. They don't get sick leave. They're out there working, and they're all heroes. Rick, why do you always pick on them? Why are you so hard on them? They have all the power and no accountability. That's called tyranny, people. Absolutely outrageous.
Face on the ground!
The dog's eating my leg! Please, the dog's eating my leg! Oh, please, the dog's eating my leg, bro. Please, it's
they can take it off if they want.
Who thinks this guy is really trying to get his dog off? Raise your hand. You're a freaking idiot.
Stop! I'm not doing it!
He's letting the dog just chew and chew and chew. Now look, I've been on many dog bites, and I guarantee you after this is over, K-9 will be high-fiving. He'll be like, yeah, man, I got a bite, man. My dog did good. I'm going to go get him a steak. And look, when you train a dog to do something and he does it, you're proud of him. But when you abuse him and you use this dog for your own torture, tyrannical tactics, I mean, it's just freaking crazy, people. Notice he ain't taking his taser off the real threat. The woman with the camera. Notice that's the real threat, people. All these cops, all these dogs not... Oh, yeah, Rick, they need dogs. Rick, that's great. Dogs are minimum force. Yeah, cops shoot freaking chihuahuas because they say they're deadly force. They're in fear of their life. But this isn't deadly force. This is minimum force, Rick. A dog isn't even lethal force, Rick. It's minimum force. It's the same as a taser on the taser scale. And that's true. The dog is the same level as a taser. Dogs need to go away, man. I mean, when you abuse a tool, but until enough civil rights, UCLA, whoever wants to get out there and start, I mean, there's plenty of footage where cops are not trained with their dogs. They can't control them. They can't get them off. They bite the wrong people. They bite cops. Handlers can't remove them. I mean, the evidence is so overwhelming that I just don't understand why nobody's challenging the courts and saying, take the dogs away from the police. All they do is abuse them. It's freaking outrageous. Rick, this is a trained dog, and they have to go through a lot of training, and these K-9 handlers are professionals, and they're the thin blue line, and they're there to protect the officers because the officers are in fear of their safety. In this case, shut up, you freaking idiots running around like dumbass freaking sheep. Four cops standing around a handcuffed guy with his hands up that's been tased and chewed on and handcuffed and ain't resisted, ain't hit an officer, ain't ran away, did nothing but lay down and put his hands behind his back. Out freaking outrageous. Okay, so this video is 20 minutes long. It's on explicit police brutality, police dog attack. If you want to search it on YouTube, I'll go ahead and throw him a sub and a like. It's on this guy's channel, I guess. Or this woman, I don't know. I can't even tell anymore. So, anyway, let's get to the news article on. So, without the video, here's what the police get to say and government gets to tell you on how. Sonoma County Sheriff said in the video the bodies of Warren Camber were made public and initially released the information of the arrest of Jason, who was seen witnessing the video. Deputies arrested him Saturday for a report of a woman going to his home with a handgun and his wife pickup driving away. Okay, whatever. Deputies, let's see. More deputies arrived. CHP closed off near area. That's a good job for CHP. They're good at closing off highways. Don't let them do anything else because they'll screw it up. Authorities, let's see. 35 also lived at home, walked outside, met with deputies. Deputies described both as confrontational. Notice how they were confrontational? They had their hands up. Yeah, that's confrontational. Green at one point standing between Wyrick and authorities, preventing them from taking the man in custody. Okay, that may be partially true. She was standing in front of him because she didn't want him to get dogged and tased, and he had his hands up. They pushed the woman aside and walked toward the deputies, cursing at them. The sheriff's office said that the deputy pulled Green away, and Wyrick began to head toward the house. Yeah, he really looked like he was heading toward the house. He fell to the ground when he was tased and put his hands behind his back. Just flat out lied to the media. One deputy deployed a stun gun. That's when he fell to the ground before he ran to the house. Another one simultaneously released. That wasn't simultaneous. He literally ran his dog up and led his dog to bite him after he was on the ground with his hands behind his back. The dog who latched on and continued to kick his leg. Wyrick. This is Wyrick's fault. This is the guy on the ground's fault. He continued to kick his left leg after a struggle and was placed in handcuffs. Really? Really? Is that what you saw, people? Absolutely outrageous. So let's see what the government, what great charges we had after all this protecting and serving. No gun was found. Maybe it was a fake call. Deputies did not charge him for brandishing a weapon in the initial report because he became uncooperative. He was arrested on a parole violation and resisting arrest. Both felonies. If you're on parole for felony. You can't go to prison unless you have a felony. So you have to be a convicted felon to go to prison. So if you're on parole, it's a felony while you're on parole to get parole violation. Resisting arrest, I'm not sure how that's a felony. And there's no way in hell they're going to ever get a conviction of resisting arrest on this guy. There just ain't no damn way. So they spent all this money on medical, and let's see, no gun was found. Green was arrested on misdemeanor battery on a peace officer. I don't know how the hell this guy battered anybody. Resisting arrest. He fell to the ground after he was tased. He got chewed and put his hands behind his back. That's resisting arrest now for all the thin blue line people out there. Rick, those cops they're doing their job. They're great heroes. And he was released on a $5,000 bill. All these cops, all this helicopter, all the tasers, dogs, medical equipment, transport to the hospital, medical care, he was released on a $5,000 bill. His mom was released on a freaking ticket. Let's see. Could not say in a video, well, the incident will be reviewed by deputies. Of course it will. I thought they said that the mom was released on a ticket, a promise to appear. Okay? So I'm just going to go back this video a little bit and bump through it to show you how long, 18 minutes, on how long it takes the medical to get here. So we got ambulance showing up. We got more cops. More protecting and serving. Fire crew. We got the big red truck. We can't have an incident without the big red truck showing up blocking traffic. But Rick, I thought CHP was blocking traffic. Well, the big red truck may need to block traffic so CHP doesn't get hit. We got to have more government out there to keep us safe, Rick. Come on.
I understand this is upsetting for you,
but you know there are not. My mom is.
All these gloves, all these medical, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 different medical, ambulances, fire department, cops, sergeants, helicopters. Man. Don't all you guys feel safe? I mean, you should feel really safe. You got all this protection to serve and willing to come help you.
Right, you guys stay.
We got a shortage of masks. Cops aren't wearing masks. Medical's wearing masks. We're wasting medical because government showed up and used a dog, and now we got wasted masks, wasted gloves. But Rick, we're in a coronavirus and everybody's supposed to save. Well, you only have to save unless government shows up to protect and serve the shit out of you.
What reason? No reason. Help it. This is my house.
Oh, now we got a neck brace. Oh, if we're going to come out here, we might as well spend a lot of money. Who thinks this guy who's going to go back to prison for a parole violation has a job and is going to pay for any of this medical? Rick, the liberals say we need free medical because the illegals can't get medical. This guy, all this is free medical, people. Well, Rick, the fire department's there in case something breaks out spontaneously and goes into flames. Okay, I got it. I know I'll have the big red truck people here.
I know.
Sergeants, cops, medical, fire department, helicopter.
Speak to my mom.
Wow. Man, all this protecting and serving for a $5,000 bill, and the mom was released on a promise to appear. Are you kidding me? Look at all those cop cars. All those ambulances. All that protecting and serving. Hell, CHP didn't even get to get on the scene. Remember, we got CHP cars, government out there blocking the roadway to keep the neighborhood safe. Wow. Everybody feel safe. Wow. Look at all this medical gear and waste and blood and mask and gloves and thousands of dollars. But Rick, they had to handcuff him to protect and serve and to keep you safe. Yeah, you're a freaking idiot.
Every single one. You guys are. This is harassment.
So there's mom in the car, handcuffed, more money, coronavirus, gloves. Nobody's got masks on. We got to keep everybody safe. Oh, you know what? Well, since we're here, let's just go ahead and give her a ticket. So she gets released on a ticket.
One of you officers read don't no right for medics, fire. No, you guys are not taking my mom. Taking my gun.
Alrighty. And of course, the fire department and medical has to look on the woman to make sure she's not hurt. You know, because remember, government's there to help you. We send government to tase and bite you and release dogs and to twist you and stand on your leg and threaten to tase you again while you're handcuffed. And then we send government here to help you, to give you medical. There was an old saying in the Vietnam War, we were helping the Vietnamese. They just didn't know how to accept it. We'd cut down a whole neighborhood with freaking machine guns, and then we'd give them a Band-Aid for their injuries and expect them to thank us for giving them medical aid. That's exactly what this is. You call in cops, they beat the hell dog, and now they give you free medical, and you should be like, oh, thank God government came and put a Band-Aid on my dog bite. Out freaking outrageous. All right, we'll end that there.